Ebusiamene Okase the Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, former vice president and the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party in 2024 general elections, adu nsembia to Jaffa tribal politics are then you are no MP before ni be a yango tie nsemo de to Janebe area ebedi nkomo yankomra.
Another piece of propaganda people have been pushing, and it's very important, is a religious propaganda that because I was a Muslim, and that's why we didn't win. That is also not supported by the data. I'm a data person, so I always go and look at the data. And if in fact that was the case, you would see that MPP, presidential and parliamentary candidates, if in fact people were voting according to religion, in most of the constituencies, the Christian parliamentary candidate should have been doing better than me, isn't it? But that was not really the case. In most of our strongholds, I was doing better in many constituencies than our parliamentary candidates. If you see in places like Efiga Secretary East, in Ashanti Akim Central, Ashanti Akim North, Akimangu Abidjan, Bekwai, Kwada, Soma, Pong, Manshia North, Manshia South, Mansun Edubia, Mansun Kwantan, Shayasun Suta, Kwanam Bcoz, Obuasi East, Obuasi West, Ofiosu South, and Secretary Place. This is just Ashanti. I did better than all the Christian parliamentary candidates in all of these constituencies. So it doesn't show. My favorite example is Asen South. Asen South, my good friend Reverend Tim Fojo was a candidate. He's a reverend, but I beat him in his constituency. So that cannot be the case. That it was because of, and the MPP is not that way inclined. We are not religiously or tribally bigoted. And that is why when I stood for the primaries in 2023, the superdelegates, we were 10 of us. I was the only Muslim. The rest were Christians, but MPP voted for me 61% to represent the party. This is dangerous. This path that some of the aspirants are moving on really represents an existential threat. As we prepare to go into the primaries, I am very, very concerned and troubled that some of our presidential aspirants have embarked on a religious and tribal bigotry and propaganda against me in a desperate attempt to win votes. They totally ignore all the data and findings about why we lost the 2024 elections and want to mislead the delegates and the party with such propaganda. The one such issue that has come up, and I think it's important for all of us to know, is the Mamprosi-Kusasi conflict. An aspirant has said that delegates should not vote for me because I am a Mamprosi man, and that we will lose votes in the Kusasi areas and other areas. This is very unfortunate and demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of the situation on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, since 1965, there have been 11 elections in Ghana. Since 1965. And the performance of the MPP in the 6, our tradition, in the 6 Moku zone seats, there are 6 seats in the Moku zone. If you look at it, the performance is as follows. In 1965, our tradition had 0 seats. At that time, I was only 2 years old. I had nothing to do with it. In 1969, we had 2 seats. In 1979, under Bcoz's leadership, we had 0 seats. In 1996, we had 0 seats in that area. In 2000, we had 1 seat. In 2004, under President Ford, we had 0 seats. 2008, we had 1 seat. 2012, under President Akufo-Addo, we had 0 seats. 2016, we had 2 seats. 2020, we had 1 seat. And 2024, we went back to 0 seats. what all the data is saying is that out of the 6 seats in the MPP, out of the 6 seats, the 11 elections, MPP has 0 in 6 of the 11 elections. So this is not an area that is a stronghold of the MPP. In fact, into the whole Bcoz zone, the 6 constituencies put together, we lost just 30,000 votes in 2024. So you can't lose. It is not the Bcoz election that made us lose 2024, and we need to be very clear about that. That the data shows that the Bcoz factor was not a factor in the outcome of the 2024 elections. That we should stop moving in that direction. And
you see, I've been saying this very often. Say, can the ube to me aye? Can the entire delegate for non to Abamount? The entire delegates non to Abamount. Neja is how tribal politics. And you see, Kennedy Japan has been doing that. Mons Andrea Chios a day. Bryan champion, Bryan champion. And so started the same thing. And this is not going to help MPP as a political party. This is not going to help MPP as a political party. Because after you saying those things, say, oh, we need a flag bearer, can you go to those places and campaign? Can you go to those places and campaign? That's the question. It's a very simple question that we are asking. Can you go to those places and campaign? No. So if no, dear, then you need to stop doing those kind of politics, because it's not going to help us in any way. It's not going to help us in any way. And no can obi ntiase. Okoka obi ntiase, obi feel say bia o tan nipa na na say, but enye tan na o tan na no kra na o ka che nipa na say what you are doing no enye no na be MPP be win elections o. Say wo ye traba say and na we free anti na we free na we koye we na we free na. Ghana is for all of us. Ghanaians want a candidate with rich ideas that can develop this country, ideas that if you implement policies that if we implement here, it will develop this country and let this country become a first-class country. Because Ghana is now a developing country. And the leader or the ideas may develop your mind. It's not leader. He talks about someone coming from the east, the north, the west, or the south. No. It's about your ideas, your policies, what you think you can do. That is what the delegates want to hear. That is what the delegates want to hear. So if we are presidential aspirant in the New Patriotic Party and you can't debate on issues that if they vote for you are a bit developing the country Ghana, then forget. Stop even thinking of say over running for these presidential elections. I'm telling you. Stop, because the tribal politics that you are doing, let's say you do this tribal politics, the delegates vote for you. This place is now Kasetia or Momunipan. Can you go to those places and campaign? It's a very simple question you should ask yourself as a sensible person. Ask yourself that question and say, after saying these things, can I go to those areas and campaign? If no, then what you are doing is very, very, very dangerous. I'm telling you, it's very, very dangerous, and people are not saying it because it's not going against them. But it's very, very, very dangerous, because the kind of thing that we are doing, thing that we are saying, no, that is not what the MPP stand for. That's not what the MPP stand for, and everybody can testify. Say that was not how the NDC was brought. Yes, sir. Let's see. The MPP is not a political party, and we have tribalism. In fact, tribalism is how we know any juma. We talk about policies, initiative, how to implement good things that is going to develop this country. It's development in freedom, not development in tribalism. So we are urging all the presidential aspirants, say, go away from tribal politics. Stop being tribalistic in your campaign. Tell the delegates in Ghanaians the reason why you should be the flag bearer and the president of the Republic of Ghana. That is what we want to hear. That is what we want to hear. And stop doing all these things. Ebusumamu wadwen chire e wo comment section nemu. Ha no me Ghana nsem